Kourtney Kardashian, she reveals her favorite drink. The capital attack was white supremacy, plain and simple. Just to the southwest border, we saw the detrimental effect of corporate media. The once looked down upon tabloid journalism have spread over and became mainstream. Now, armed with its newfound trust and power, current journalism have become political weapons and entertainment. It used to be respected and cherished. It used to be the champion of our liberty. It used to enlighten us with thought-provoking articles that took down corrupt governments. But it seems that by late, media cannot be further from its original values. Provocative, unproductive, meaningless, and cash-grabbing journalism is deeply prevalent in 2021. These days, when we turn on our TV or phone, it seems like our whole world is on fire. It scares us, makes us anxious and angry. But it sure as hell grabbed your attention. Now let me ask you a question. When was the last time you read or heard a thoughtful and non-incendiary article? I myself can hardly remember. Just last year, we opened 2020 with the news headlines that read, World War III, then the terrifying murder hornets. Another one read, Kim Jong is dead, followed by the media-conspired 2020 race war. Now, under this laughable yet immensely impactful media, we are hurt. So then, is this disgraceful state of media their fault? Well, they're doing so for financial gain, and without it, they cannot survive. And predictably, news publications have been substantially struggling financially. Pew Research Center tells us that newspaper revenues declined dramatically between 2008 and 2018. Advertising revenue fell from $37.8 billion in 2018 to a whopping $14.3 billion in 2018, a steep 62% decline. And that the US news circulation fell down to 9%. They needed a solution to solve this predicament. The solution was, the more provocative the title is, the more clicks it gets, aka clickbait. As news moved from its monthly subscription and physical copies to the internet, it was struggling to meet the constant demand of information from the public. No one was willing to read quote-unquote uninteresting articles or thought-provoking. A South African publication, Media Update, stated, if your headlines include emotive words, people turn that over into hashtags, and making use of these hashtags that embody feelings gets used the most and receive a ton of engagement. And media did just that. We gravitate toward journalism that evokes emotions, not thought. If corporate media is merely pandering to our hedonistic desires, then yes, we are the problem. Why have such sensational but trivial matters become so appealing to us? In this day and age of fast-paced media, we don't want to think. We just want to consume as much information as possible in as little time as possible, and regardless of the integrity of its contents. Something that is not provocative or controversial is simply not worth our time. We need something strong and something quick. Technical University of Denmark research found that topics would sharply capture widespread attention and promptly lose it just as quickly. For example, a 2013 Twitter global trend would last for an average of 17.5 hours, contrasted with the 2016 Twitter trend, which would last for only 11.9 hours. Now, one can only imagine how much shorter it is in 2021. Philip Spreen from the same study stated that content is increasing in volume, which exhausts our attention, and our urge for newness causes us to collectively switch between topics more regularly. Which brings me to my next point. We shake our body in nausea at the thought of thinking. As our attention span gradually shortens and abundance of information is swarming our everyday life, thinking seems trivial. It takes time, effort, and most importantly, it is inconvenient. It might seem boring compared to the world of media today, where you can get your hands on the most explicit and provocative contents that will have you on your feet anytime and anywhere. We do not want to consume journalism that is meaningful and thought-provoking, something that really requires some time to digest and understand, as we do not think our time is worth spending on something non-aggravating. As Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, professor of psychology at the University of Toronto, tells us, the fact of life's tragedy and the suffering that is part of it has been used to justify the pursuit of immediate selfish gratification. We prefer expedient pleasures rather than pursuing real, profound goals. Now, why is that? What are we exactly running away from? Why do we fear thinking? It's because thinking provokes self-reflection, and that is the train of thought we fear. Distasteful journalism is merely just a symptom of our actual illness, the inability to face one's problems. Media allows us to feel emotions that are quick and strong, and whether that be anger, envy, lust, joy, or any of the other intense feelings. In order to distract ourselves of our problems and put our focus elsewhere where things are exciting, we simply do not want to face ourselves honestly and look in the mirror and confront the personal issues in our lives. And the modern media is our escape from reality. It has become our drug. It is time that we need to really assess ourselves, slow down, and remember the things that are truly dear to us. And most crucially, instead of trying to run away and distract ourselves from our issues, we need to face them head on and confront them, and finally deal with them. They will not be solved immediately. It will take time, but I assure you, you'll feel much better than you did yesterday. We need to start to appreciate the small things in life and those small but subtle emotions, instead of living this fast-driven, meaningless, hedonistic lifestyle. And then, media will lose its unearned influence from the public, and the integrity and richness of quality journalism will return to our papers. Thank you.